So now we're going to talk about the following scenarios and how we dissolve them as they come up. So our first is the behaviors. This is an area that we need to pay really good attention to because there are going to be things that we need to do as staff and things that we need to not do. And one of the biggest challenges that faces is that sometimes the behaviour might be mild, might be moderate, or severe. We need to know exactly what to do, when we need to do it, and how we need to do it. Because you know what? This is an issue that faces everybody in the industry of disability services and aged care. How often can we deal with someone that is showing negative behaviour and how we need to identify what issues we can do to help them? So most of that behaviour is either broken down into learned or they actually adopt some type of behaviour. For example, if your client is swearing and carrying on, it usually is down to a learned behaviour. And we need to learn how to teach them to be positive in the behaviour. But if they start hitting and punching us, we definitely need to stop this kind of behaviour. One of the best ways of actually dealing with challenging behaviour, by the way, is to record what happens before it, what happens during it, and what happens after it. And we want the relationship between support worker and participant to be good in harmony together. This means that the behaviour stops and the support workers get to know their participant and what they like and don't like. Because this could be an actual way of actually stopping the behaviour of concern that is arising as a result of their behaviour. So staff need to understand what is the behaviour of concern. Behaviour of concern is anything that the client is doing that they should not be doing. For example, are they hitting themselves on the head? Are they actually doing self-harming thoughts? Self-harming thoughts we'll get into a little bit later in another topic, but this, I wanted to stay on what the two variations are though. Self-harming means that they are feeling suicidal tendencies and therefore we need to actually react to that scenario. But as I said, we'll get on it later in another topic. This one, I want to focus on the behaviour of concern that we need to stop. For example, are they actually swearing a lot? Are they getting too loud and boisterous? Are they actually screaming out when they go out in public? Or are they doing something else? For example, it doesn't have to be yelling and screaming. Are they going around pulling their pants down in public, doing indecent exposure? Are they actually touching their genitals and trying to get you to touch them? Are they actually, just going around banging on the walls? Are they banging the doors? We need to remember to record every time this happens. So the duration, 5, 10, 15 minutes, half an hour, how long does the behaviour go on for? And we need to be honest and frankly about it. Sometimes the behaviour might not be, in your view, severe, but nonetheless, it still cannot happen. As we know, some of the challenging behaviours that we need to deal with are not always going to be straightforward, and we do not recommend that you do anything other than recording it. because we need to keep you safe and you need to be aware of how to do this. For example, if a client was threatening to hit you, you need to slowly, do not turn your back on them, but slowly walk away. Tell them that you're going to give them their personal space, and then you need to do this as quick as possible and as safely as possible. For example, you might go out into another room or outdoors, and you need to keep yourself safe so you don't ever turn your back on where the participant is. You need to keep your eyes on them at all times and remember your exit strategies. Please do not leave your car keys indoors or your wallet. If you need to get out, you need to make a decision there and then what you need to do. Remembering the safe harvest of you is our most important part of it. So therefore, if you've got to sit in your car, do so. But remember, keep the doors locked. And remember to have your phone handy. There is also other things we can do to ensure our safety. Making sure we do have both the office number and Abdi's number in your phone, as well as this very important number, 13 11 14. This is a crisis line called Lifeline. They are there to help you and engage you in conversations. But our most primary thing in all of this is ensuring that workers are safe so long as they do their job, because you know what? If it is severe and we need to move you, we need to know all the details of what happened and what is going on in that particular scenario. So therefore we are likely to help because we can recognize that the relationship between you and your participant have broken down. We need to also establish, was there a behaviour chart that we need to follow? Because with behaviour charts, they are your guideline basic to handling the challenging behaviour. And they are a good resource tool for all staff to get to know and how we deal with it. The scenarios that who do we need to report to? Well, we definitely need to report this to Abdi or state manager, which is me. So remember my email address and make sure you have put in there enough information so we can deal with the issue and help you overcome the relationship breakdowns. We don't want to actually be alarming each other or taking it straight to their work when we know the truth is the challenging behaviours will happen and we need to understand how they will impact on us. They have a great intention on tolls on support staff, because obviously support staff can be harmed by this. And we've got to realise that sometimes our participant might not mean that, but they are at the end of their tether with things. So we need to understand how to develop our relationship with our participant, because at the end of the day, those relationships that they build, they are looking for trust with us as well. So we have to build the trust and earn their respect and care. You cannot take anything for hard granted, because they will not do it either. And most of the times we also need to remember our basic principles. If we are faced with imminent threat, then we need to get out. We get out and we report this immediately to managers. This is how we can actually support you in the best way of our duty. Remember, your duty of care is to you and your participant. So we need you to be safe before we can let you help anybody else. Thank you, and please stay tuned for more videos later. Thank you.